So when you approach the podium, please let us know who you are and the business you represent, and you can lay your plans out on a table next to the podium. And before we get started, we're going to ask Cindy to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. And in our January meeting every year, it's a little bit of homework we have to do here. It's a reorganizational meeting, and we'll pick a new chairman and vice chair for the year. So do I hear any nominations for chairman?
I'd like to nominate Bob DiMacantonio for chairman.
I thought you were going to say.
Yay.
Okay, thank you, guys. Appreciate that. And vice chairman, any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Tony.
I'll second that. Congratulations. You're in for another year. Okay. All right, great. All right, so we'll get down to business. Our first application tonight is DRB 2015-01, the application at MOD Pizza at 522 West Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for outside dining. Hi there.
Hi there. Good evening. Michael Geithner with Bowler Engineering on behalf of the applicant, MOD Pizza, or Made on Demand. If it's
there you
okay, I'd like to hand out a couple things.
Sure. I have a handheld mic too, if that helps you
Thank
out.
you.
So,
Is this different than what we were?
No, this was contained in your package.
Yes.
Thought it'd be easier just to
thank you.
hand out. If you don't need it, I can.
I have it.
You have it?
Yep.
Yep, I think I've got it. Thank you.
Is this mine or is this yours?
Thank you.
That's your stuff.
This is a pretty straightforward application. The current property, this is 522 West Lancaster Avenue, and the current property today is operating the Meltdown Restaurant, and it does have outside in the rear of the property. Yes, sir.
Can you put your proposed layout on that table so the public can?
Sure. That does anything.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, there we
Thank you,
go.
thank you. So the current operating business is the Meltdown. It's a, I think it's a grilled cheese operation, and it does have outdoor seating, seasonal seating, obviously, at the rear of the property. The applicant, MOD Pizza, Made on Demand, is looking to come in, renovate the existing building for their operation, which is a pizza-type operation. And in doing so, they are looking to renovate the, what I'll call the outdoor seating area, which is the outdoor deck area. There were some photos contained in the application that kind of describe and illustrate that area. The intention here is not to enlarge the building, not to enlarge the deck area in the back. They may replace portions of the deck that are in need of repair, but the idea here really is to have some outdoor seating at the rear of the property, approximately 10 to 12 exterior seats. And as you can see in the illustration, there's going to be a proposed bench along the back wall or back edge of the deck area, and then some chairs or seating area. So approximately 10 to 12 really seating area at the rear of the site, or the deck area, the outdoor seating. And really that is the application that is before you. Again, it's a renovation of the existing facility and just outdoor seating, which exists today.
Do you know how many interior seats you're going to have?
Yeah, it's going to be approximately 39 to 40 interior seats.
Okay, so your max is going to be about 10, because you're allowed 25%. So it looks like you're going to have to work.
That's
with-
fine,
with
and I
10.
think the applicant's willing to reduce that to the 25% requirement.
Okay.
I'm pleased the Wayne has a new distinction. We're now the pizza capital of Pennsylvania.
So you're going to have, looks like 5 tables, 6 chairs, and that long bench.
Correct.
Okay.
And that will be obviously reduced to meet the 25% requirement.
All right. And you didn't show any cover for the tables as far as umbrellas or anything?
I don't anticipate that they're looking at that at this point. That may be proposed in the future, but at this point, I'm not aware of any additional covering or umbrellas that are going to be
Right,
added.
right. It actually is a requirement that there be some sort of shading. So I think in that location, I don't know.
It's a great location. I've
Yeah.
sat there many times.
Right.
It's really nice late in the evening, there you can see sunset, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's a good spot. I act like it's California, but.
Yeah.
It's not visible from the road either, it's off the road.
Yeah, you're tucked back. I mean, you
Well,
can
it's on the
see it,
side.
but you're,
Yeah.
it's on the side of the
It's off the
building.
road.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
A nice spot, I mean, especially for what, is this a chain?
It is. There's approximately 40 to 45 locations, primarily in the Oregon, Washington State location or area, and the West Coast. There are a couple locations in Texas. But in regards to the East Coast, right now they are proposing this location here and another location in Willow Grove. But beyond that, there are no other East Coast locations. So this will be new to the East Coast.
Yeah. Okay. As far as, like I said, there needs to be a cover, whether it's an awning, umbrellas, something to that effect.
Okay?
I mean, the umbrellas cannot have any advertising on them if you're going to put advertising. Or if you're thinking of putting advertising, you're not allowed to put any. And they have to be at least 6 foot 8 inches from grade.
Okay.
So from the patio.
From the patio.
From the patio,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We'll call the patio the grade, yeah. But it is a requirement to have some sort of shading for the patrons.
What's the finish on this bench? Is it just painted plywood?
I believe it is, yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, weather resistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say, too, you're going to take a look at the quality of that deck, because I think that's been out there for a while.
There are some areas of it that definitely
Yeah.
need to be repaired.
Yeah.
And then will the deck be painted?
It will most likely be consistent with really some of the furniture that they're doing, but they're not looking to do anything, color-wise that's going to contrast significantly from the building.
Okay.
Do they have a color, corporate color theme that they'll?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
So of course, if the deck is repaired, you replace pieces of wood, it should all match. So,
Absolutely.
Obviously, there are painted sections now, so it'll all need to be painted.
When do you guys expect to open?
I think the goal is, coming out of this meeting, is to secure any of the necessary other permits in regards to the building permit, for any of the renovation inside the building. But the goal here, I think, is to be open in the spring.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. You may want to take a look at the code under the outside dining requirements. There's a lot of do's and don'ts in there.
Okay.
It's a little early in the game to talk about it, but, it tells you the hours of operation and the season that you can run the outside dining and all. So it's pretty clear.
Okay.
And if we approve this tonight, you're still going to have to get final approvals from the Health Department and from Director of Community Development also.
Yes.
So this is just one step
Right.
for you tonight, so. And I believe you have to apply for a permit also, correct?
Correct, the building
Okay.
permit, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a new exterior door that, on the deck?
No, it's,
Is that existing?
that's existing,
Okay.
yes.
Will
Sorry.
will that be for use of the clientele, or is that just for service?
I believe that will have access into the building as well for the indoor seating area. To get out there, because the other avenue to really get to this back area is really from the street side.
Yeah, that's what it's always been for the last
Yeah.
few owners, is that you went out the front door, in and out there, and that door was not, I didn't even remember that it was there. Also, they didn't always have trash cans, so I think it's important, I like seeing that you have a trash cart
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Questions, comments, guys?
I have no problem with it.
I think it's
Looking
good.
all right? You all right, Ray? Okay. Cindy?
It's good.
Okay. All right. And sir, any other questions for us, for the board?
No, I wanted to confirm next steps, and you just mentioned it, directory, the community development review and approval, and obviously health and building.
Yeah, health.
Right? You guys all right with that?
Yes, tonight's going to be a conditional approval because you can't technically issue this without a food license in place. So, yes, everything will run through building first, then the food, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Great. Somebody like to make a
Yep,
motion?
okay, sure. In the matter of DRB 2015-01, made-on-demand pizza at 522 West Lancaster Avenue, I move that we accept the outdoor seating arrangement as proposed, with the stipulation that the number of seats be reduced to 10, to be 25% of the interior seats, that umbrellas be installed at the same time. and think, you know, that
Necessary repairs.
the necessary repairs as discussed.
Okay, do we hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Do you want any of this back?
No.
Okay.
It makes it easier for you. I'm sure you have enough paperwork there.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, next is DRB 2015-02, the application of finger paint at 789 East Lancaster Avenue in Villanova for a wall sign. Hi, David.
Hi, Dave.
Good.
I am Dave with Signs by Tomorrow of Ardmore. I'm here representing Finger Paint, which is a marketing and branding company based out of New York, who currently has an office in Wayne, and they're just moving offices to Villanova. So what I'm proposing is at 789 East Lancaster. This is in the back of the building, not the front. And we would like to do halo-lit channel letters, about 12 feet by 3 feet. Each individual letter is about 12 inches besides the F, which is a kind of stylized, and it's a little bigger at 35 inches.
Is there a sign on there in that area right now?
As the next door
Yeah,
has a sign.
but there's nothing, there hasn't been
There's
anything.
nothing
Oh,
there
good.
now.
Nothing mounted there, so nothing
It's
to
just
repair.
black panels.
So you're saying this is in the back, but this faces Route 30?
This is in
No,
the back. It
it's in
faces the
back.
parking lot.
It faces like
The parking
train
lot.
tracks.
Yeah,
Oh,
train
really?
tracks.
Yeah.
Faces a hill.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
This, they're like an office. They're not trying to get like.
It's not a retail establishment as
No,
such?
no.
Strictly office?
This is branding, because they're a branding company.
Oh, that's
Okay.
what finger paint is? Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
what they
they
were.
do branding, marketing, strategy, online development, like that kind of stuff.
I was figuring one of these like color me mine
I
kind of
know,
places.
No, no, no,
That's what
no,
I
no.
thought, yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I
I
do
have no
too.
problem.
I don't really have any,
Yeah,
the size is appropriate.
Yeah.
It's in the back of the building, but even then, you only ask for 12-inch letters.
Well,
Learn-
the F is.
Well,
bigger.
with the F,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's sort of like
Do
you
you have any
learned me.
problem,
No.
Yeah.
right. And you're allowed 60 square feet in that
Mm-hmm.
location. That's well below 60, so,
It's 36.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume then there's not going to be a sign on the monuments out front? for
No,
finger
because the
paint?
monument's full.
Yeah,
So,
okay. And if it's
The-
not a retail location? you
Yeah.
know, Okay. All right.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Looks fine.
You all right?
like
Everybody's all
it.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Tony, want to take that one?
Yes, in the case of DRB 2015-02, finger paint, 789 East Lancaster Avenue, Villanova, I recommend that the submission be approved as submitted.
Okay, do we hear a second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any questions for us, Dave?
no.
Okay, you're right. And you
Thanks.
know you have to get a
I
burn.
get it, yes,
Yeah.
they've warned me about that.
Okay, good. Great, thanks a lot.
What is it again?
The permit.
Oh, yeah.
Building permit. All right, next is DRB 2015-03, the application of Radnor Racket Club at 175 King of Prussia Road in Radnor for a ground sign. Okay, Mr. Goodman, how are you?
Hi, okay, Lloyd Goodman, Radnor Racket Club.
Hi, Lloyd, how are you?
All right. You've been by here a couple times in the last year or two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constantly changing some things, hopefully not too much in the future, but
Okay, good. All
this
right.
was kind of necessary because one side of the sign blew off. You can see in the upper left-hand corner is what is left of it, but the other side blew off and broke, and the sign is from it's from 1990. So the one on the right here is what I'm proposing.
Okay, good.
All right.
And I just learned from Bob before the meeting that the blue part has to be non-illuminated.
Right, so we'll change that.
Right.
I think it says
It really
translucent.
wasn't, yeah. But so the, right, it's in the letters and the numbers, of course,
Right,
will.
yeah, at nighttime, the
Yeah.
background will be black.
Yes.
And only
Yeah.
the letters and numbers will show up as white.
Yes.
And the outline, if,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the bottom part, that's not really lit, that is actually metal that has like a stucco paint on it. And you can see by the picture in the upper left-hand when of course, it's not always, the vegetation's not always out, but that gets kind of covered up anyway, but
So you're going to keep the existing base?
yes, it is a structural steel post there,
Right.
which we're going to keep, has a footing and everything.
Right, right.
And I think they're going to replace that metal stucco-looking
Yeah.
thing, but I'm not sure, actually. Should find
Wait,
that
do you
out.
think the base will be seen? It's not seen in the existing sign, so.
Right. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, the picture shows it's not, but right now, for the winter time, we clip down that, it's
the plant material?
catmint.
Yeah.
We cut it down so it actually is visible now.
Come summer, it won't probably be, yeah.
No, in the summer it's not, but it is, it meets all the, visual measurements.
Yeah.
It's 42 inches from the base of that stucco-looking base to the middle of the sign.
It looks very appropriate. I think it's going to accomplish your purpose, and.
Thank you.
I like it.
I guess
I have no
aesthetically,
problem.
your blues kind of matching the racquetball sign.
Yes, if you're looking at that other.
Yeah. Are you planning to match them? Because it would be maybe
Yeah.
nice. Good.
Yes, the sign company, OSS Croy from Bridgeport, they came out and did as close a match as they could. They picked a number here, PMS 281C, so, and they're far enough away where, to the,
Yeah, no, it
most
doesn't have
people
to
won't
be
be able
perfect.
to
It's not
tell.
like you're putting it on the same
Yeah,
side.
it's
Nope,
just-
it'll look great.
Okay,
Is
thank
the
you.
catering business still there?
Yeah, that's their palm sign
right.
right there.
I see, okay.
Well, that's why we were here a couple years ago for that one. Yeah, they're doing quite well.
Oh, good.
And I would hope that in the rule book, it's got to be 10 feet off the cartway, and I believe it is. the
Oh,
sign.
yes.
It's going in the same location.
Yeah,
as the
same
previous one,
location.
even though
Yeah.
that was put in before the code.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
okay,
It
but-
certainly
It's
looks
good,
like it
yeah.
is, so.
Yeah, it
Okay.
definitely is.
All right.
Looks good.
Questions, Brian? Comments?
No, I like it. I think it looks good.
Lloyd,
Okay.
any questions for the board or anything?
No?
No, okay. Brian, you want to take the application?
Matter of DRB 2015-03 Radnor Racket Club, I move that we approve as submitted.
Okay, we'll just make sure that the background's opaque.
Oh,
Yeah,
with the exception that the background, the sign is not backlit, only the letters can be illuminated.
Yes, okay.
great. Do we hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
Thanks,
very
Lloyd.
much.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
good night.
Good night.
Okay, next is DRB 2015-04, the application of eFinity Distributed Generation LLC at 161 Pennsylvania Avenue in Wayne for 2 wall signs. How you
Hi,
doing?
good evening. Jeff Biter. from,
How you doing, Jeff?
Good evening.
Hi.
So, I'll put this picture of the building up so that I have it. And I've never done this here, so I'm new to it. So my objective is to put our company logo on the outside of the building, just in the middle there. And then between the front door, which is just here, and this window, to place a 5-foot or so wide band sign that has my company name. So the product that I represent is Capstone. That'll be at the top, and it'll be on it's 5 by 3.5, I think, or 4, and it'll be a fin out of stainless steel.
Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about the building and the location
Sure.
and, because it's a unique spot, and I
Yeah.
assume you
Yeah.
just acquired that recently?
I did, and,
Okay.
came here and got an approval to do work.
Yeah.
And so we
Does
have
everybody
an
know where
office.
this is? It's-
Plant-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
right-
looking
right-
at the Do It Best Hardware to the right.
Yeah, so, and we were up the street there for years, so, so we're on Pennsylvania Avenue, right there by Aberdeen, and it's a unique location, and it's a metal steel building, and we fitted it out for office and warehouse storage space.
Right, and that was previously, I guess, Burkett Oil Company?
It was, well, I think there was an organization that was doing some car storage, antique cars, and they were little Aston Martins and Alfa Romeos. So he would store them in there and I guess do minor repairs between races. So I purchased
You
the
never
property
know.
from him and changed it over to a local business.
What is your business?
Sell capstone turbines and service them. So
What was the name of the business before?
I believe the gentleman that owned it was, one of the partners was Earl. I don't know the name of I don't remember the name of the property or the business.
I like your logo.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like you really cleaned that building up, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. it's-
Yeah, because it really pops when you drive
Yeah,
by there. It
thanks.
looks
Yeah.
nice.
We-
Yeah.
We did that. And then, so the lateral sign that's got Efinity Distributed Generation, that's going to be tucked under that green band that I showed you. And then I'll light that with the low voltage lighting just underneath the just underneath there. So you won't be able to see the light source, but it'll be like lighting your deck light, real low for under steps and things of that nature. And I haven't chosen to light the capstone sign yet. I guess I have to come back if I request to do that.
Could you tell me again, where's the capstone sign going?
That would go right up here. in this
Okay,
area.
that's going
Right-
above.
Right in the middle, yeah.
Okay,
Right in the middle
and
of
then
building.
not Xfinity, I'm sorry, Efinity goes down next to your door?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And is that, the background of the Efinity, is that the same color as the band that's around the building?
Good question. So the capstone fin will be stainless steel
Yeah.
on
The two
the same color
grays.
as the
I
building.
got that.
Right? And then the other one, let me see, that's a good question. I thought I had the colors in there.
Yeah, I have a color rendering of it.
Yeah.
It's your next, probably your next sheet, yeah.
So I guess it's going to be green with stainless steel.
It's a pretty neat looking sign.
It-
It
it
really
looks-
fits the building, I think.
It looks good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's industrial looking.
It
and I-
is,
And I like the
yeah.
logo. I was just wondering if it's going to be the same green as the band.
I would not want it that color. I think we were
Yeah.
going to go with the contrast on the building.
It's a little bright on that. Yeah,
Yeah, so
good, okay.
that the silver, the brushed nickel will stand out in both locations.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the design? I think it's unique, but
Yeah, I think
like
it's
Jeff said,
neat.
it fits the building. And
I think it's
there a pro-
macho. Macho.
We like that.
Well, I wrestled at Radnor for years, so it fits right in.
Oh, did you? All right,
yeah.
well,
Well, good luck to you.
Is there an issue with the height of the sign?
well, that's what I'm wondering, how
Well, yeah.
high is that?
it can't be any higher than 15 feet from grade on that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
I think if these doors are 8, well, what are the standard doors?
I don't think
7
it's
or
more.
8?
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't
it
think
looks
it's
like
more
the
than
building's
15.
not higher than
Yeah.
15. So
Yeah.
I think you're good with where you are planning to place that sign.
So that's the bottom of the sign or the top of the sign?
Top of the sign.
From grade?
Yes.
Okay. I don't-
So the top sign, you're not going to illuminate at this point.
What's that?
The top sign, you're not going to illuminate at this
No,
point?
not at this point.
Okay. All right.
Just, so we can approve it, and you just know that not to have the top of it higher than 15 feet, but I think you'd have it like right up at the rafters if it was, well,
Well, just make sure it's no higher than 15 feet.
My objective actually was the center between the.
I'm just going to
the
suggest you
A-frame.
center, yeah, that makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, between the band
Right.
and the
Yep.
A-frame.
Yep, that'll look good.
Okay. All right. So you guys are all right with the materials, the install and
No
everything?
problem.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it looks really
Okay.
good.
And how about the bottom sign,
I
the
like
long
it.
rectangular
Yeah.
sign? You all right
Is
with
it- are
that,
you- Is that
too?
what you call pin-mounted letters there? Let me see.
I know, it's kind of unique.
It is. It's-
Yeah.
It looks great.
Jeff, yeah, if you want
Cool,
to
thank you.
let the viewers at home take a look at
Oh,
that.
yeah, if you
wanna
want to
flip
show
the-
that Efinity sign
Yeah.
up there, it'd be nice to do,
I will.
there.
Yeah.
So this is really what it stands out to be.
I think
Now,
they're-
but that distributed generation isn't going to show anywhere, right? Or is
Yeah,
it?
no, it goes from right to left. It'll be, so I guess it's just.
Oh, that's a section that I'm
Yeah,
seeing
that's
above.
the entire
Okay, got
section. So
it.
that's the 8 foot. I put 8 foot
Oh,
2
okay,
inches.
I'm
there.
sorry.
Yeah.
No problem.
How did I
And
miss
that's
that?
5, so
Got
it's
it.
5 inches by 8 feet.
I see it.
So it spans between the two glass windows.
That'll look great.
Yeah, I think it will.
Good.
I'm kind of afraid when I drive by there, my car is going to get magnetized or something.
Yeah.
Efinity
Well, it looks better than the
distribution
blue building it used to be.
generation.
Oh, yeah, it's looking,
I couldn't wait to paint that.
I like that little neighborhood. It's in a good spot.
That's great. No, it looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Appreciate it.
needed a little cleanup, and I think
Right.
you did a nice job there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, any other comments or questions for Jeff?
Nope.
That's all right. Jeff, any comments for the board? Yeah.
No, I think I understand. Top of the sign, no more than 15? Got it.
Want to take that one, Cindy?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Let's see, in the manner of DRB 2015-04, Efinity Distributed Generation LLC, I move that we accept both signs as presented.
Okay.
And
There a second?
that you remember not to have the top of your sign exceed 15 feet.
I will.
Okay, great.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
I did speak too quickly. So am I at liberty now to go ahead forth and purchase and install a sign?
Do you have a permit?
You are at liberty.
Yeah.
Permits required, electrical if you're going to light. And may I remind the board, numbers, please?
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Sorry about
I'm sorry,
that.
thank you.
Your address number prominently displayed
It's
on the
already up
building?
now.
It's up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And I think my lighting was already covered in my building permit with engineering. Is that possible? or no?
It's not possible because your electrical permit was closed along with your building permit.
But they wired for that location. Okay.
Please include an electrical permit.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
Okay. All set?
Well, thank you for appearing before us.
You're welcome. Have
Okay.
a nice evening.
Thank you.
You too, bye-bye. And things were moving so quickly.
You bet. All right, last on our agenda tonight is the application, or DRB 2015-05, the application of 134 Partners at 134 North Wayne Avenue in Wayne, zoned in the Wayne Business Overlay District, for a freestanding sign. Mr. Palmer, how are you?
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome.
Doing well, thanks. I'm Brad Palmer. I represent the landlord, 134 North Wayne Avenue, known as the Suburban Building.
Yes.
And in our ongoing effort to make some minor improvements with big impact, we are coming this evening for a directory sign out front, which is in the interest of being able to identify what's in the building and also be able to identify specific tenants that are in the building. This property houses 7 tenants, 2 of them office and 5 of them are retail. And there are 2 facade entrances here. One is in the front that you see in your packet, and one is in the side. Down the south side, which is down to the left of the building on the south alley, where there's a lobby entrance there. And one of the retailers actually is accessed exclusively through that lobby. So a directory sign,
I'm sorry, Brad, before you jump ahead, can you just kind of review where you've been in the process and where you've gone with zoning hearing board and all that? Just give us a little oversight of what's been going on with the signage.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for asking. I'm sorry. We recently went and received approval for additional signage on the front of the building in order to allow for each tenant in this facade to be signed. And those signs are not yet installed, so they're not showing on here.
Were they projecting
What
signs?
they are is projecting signs.
Okay, so how many were you granted?
There's 4 signs total. How to describe it? It's one projecting arm with 2 signs on it on one end of the building, and another match projecting arm with 2 signs on it on the other end of the building.
So the,
Oh, okay, so I wasn't aware, okay.
yeah, the current projecting sign there for the portrait place, is that going to go?
That stays,
Okay,
and
Does something get added
and
to
a
it?
smaller sign for the tenant that's underneath them hangs beneath that
okay,
sign. And then a new sign that mirrors this portrait one in terms of materials and style and size is installed over on the Vecchia Pizzeria side of the building.
okay,
And then that will also have 2 signs. One is for Vecchia and one is for the salon that's underneath them.
okay, so Vecchia and the salon will be on one side, the portrait and the Wayne Bar will be on the other?
Correct.
And then the person around the side entrance doesn't get any,
Correct, not
Okay.
on this facade.
okay. Actually, let me ask, right, do those signs have to come in for approval or for aesthetics, or how does that work?
They-
I'm not sure. I have to go back to zoning to see what was.
Okay,
You know, I could
I don't know,
pull
you-
that up. We actually appeared for those here first. So there was a conditional approval on them pending a zoning approval.
okay, all right, just curious.
So then what you brought to us was then taken to zoning and they approved it?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Okay, good. So how about the, you were trying to get a large sign on the right side of the building down the alley, weren't you?
That, we did. It's not installed yet.
So you got
and that-
approvals for that also?
That didn't require zoning approval. That'll be on this south alley side of the building. It's a wall sign.
Oh, yeah, that you got approved for. But weren't you talking about a large blade sign on the north side of the building or not? Or am I dreaming?
Well, there is
That's
that one.
true. We decided that wasn't
Okay.
necessary.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Can you tell me about this wall sign? I guess did I miss something?
we approved one like right over here.
Right?
Correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Between the little, the lights or,
Yes, that's right.
yeah, and
You can,
I do remember this.
you
Okay.
can see one of those lights, and it'll be just to the left of that.
And
Yeah.
what's going to be on that sign?
That is it has tenant identification on it.
Which tenant?
It has the retailers on it
So there are
with their logo.
5 of
and-
them?
Yes.
Oh. How big's that sign?
It's 5 feet by 10 feet.
Is that up at this point, or is?
No, it's not.
Okay.
yet.
That's, we're talking about a sign on the alley.
Correct.
So
It
we-
doesn't
It's
project,
South
it's-
side of the building, so.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You can see it from the right angle, from the south approach from the street and sidewalk. But you can't see it from straight on.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we approved that 2 or 3
And you-
months ago,
you did.
whatever it
I don't know
was.
what the art
Yes.
looks like for that. What did the artwork look like? Was it each logo, each business had their own font, or what was?
Yes, it's.
Do you have a
it's-
picture of it?
There, it's the same logos that are
Mm-hmm.
on the other signs. It's a pretty,
Mhm.
all the tenants keep it simple, and
Okay.
they just expose the same logo.
Okay. So it wasn't just like, Portrait
wasn't-
Place,
yeah.
Wayne Bar?
Correct.
Okay, it was more the logos.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember that myself.
I don't remember seeing that.
I remember it coming in.
Yeah, I just can't
Yeah.
remember seeing it. Must be in I must have it in my file.
Mhm.
Okay. All right,
Okay, so that brings
now-
us up to where we are today. And just as far as outside dining too, the Wayne Bar, I think, was approved for outside dining.
That's true.
And I think Vecchia also?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet? Okay,
Vecchia
hasn't
hasn't
been in.
applied.
Okay, so just the Wayne Bar at this point?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Vecchia's got his signage up, so.
Bob, where's the
Let-
Wayne Bar?
The Wayne Bar's in the basement. If you go down the
Downstairs.
steps to the
Oh,
left.
That's a nickname for the Wayne Coffee and Ice Cream Bar.
Don't go there thinking,
Yeah.
oh yay, martinis. Unless that's an ice cream flavor. Yes.
Okay.
Great little coffee shop though, and it's so warm this time of year, and delicious donuts, just saying.
There's a photographer in the other,
They're on the second, they're upstairs
Yeah.
on the
oh,
left.
upstairs. Who's
Yeah,
in the storefront opposed to Vecchia?
The photographer, the portrait.
So the
place, yes.
photographer's on the left.
Yeah.
All right.
Vecchia's on the right.
I think you've done a really great job
And then there's a
with that
central
building.
entrance to the offices up the middle of the stairs. There's a lot going on in this facade. It's old school that way. It's not,
I think you've done a great job, and it's very complicated, and it's trying to work around our ordinance and still give your people some visibility. But
yeah, our priority is to see the businesses survive and
Yes.
thrive.
Right.
And we all know that signage is key to that people, even if they know they're in this location, that they can come and find it. When you have a historic property like this with a number of retail tenants in it, it's a little unexpected. If you're a first-time customer, you know they're here in this block here, but it's not so easy to find them. And that's the feedback we keep getting from the businesses
Right.
that are in it.
That's
So
fair.
Yeah.
trying to thread the needle between how do you respect what we enjoy about the facade, which is you show off the architecture and the big windows and things without cluttering it with signage. And one of what's being proposed this evening is a piece of a solution for that, where you have a directory for the tenants that can be seen from the approach from both sides, from the sidewalk.
Mhm.
But it's not too large. It's not anywhere near the allotted size for sign.
Okay.
And, it's in keeping with the tastefulness that we were working on with the building. And
Brad, at the zoning hearing board meeting, didn't you also propose the sandwich boards?
we did.
Okay, how'd you make out?
They didn't approve them.
They didn't approve those, okay. All right, so they're done.
Yep,
Okay, all right. So that kind of brings us up to where we are tonight.
true.
Okay. All right, so.
Now, do you think that notices have been sent to all the businesses
Nice,
that put
nice,
out sandwich
very
boards?
pleasant.
We send them out, we also hand deliver them and ask people to take them in. That lasts a week,
Yeah,
and then we have to hand deliver them again. We actually print them up in batches of 50 to hand them out.
huh. Some people say they don't get them. I think
I'll take it in my graphics.
You're correct.
they don't get them, or they're lying?
No,
Excuse me, or
I-
they're
Some-
not
some-
acknowledging it.
some people forget that they received a letter, a hand-delivered letter by one of the code officials, yes.
Okay, just thought that might be the case.
Okay.
Okay, so the sign at hand.
Yes.
So it was worth asking for these tenants. Most properties are modern in an architectural sense, if not. And the allotment of a window sign and a ground sign and a projecting sign and a wall sign is for each business. In this property, you have one facade for
Everybody.
everybody. And so we think that this is a good solution. I spoke to in terms of finding the tenants in the building, being able to identify out front that this is the property where they are located in. It sounds funny to explain because you think it would be easy to see them, and we're all local, so we kind of know what's there. But the businesses survive on people that aren't only locals, and it's every little bit goes a long way, actually.
Right. So it's kind of a unique,
So we have a
Sign.
directory sign on
Yeah.
the other facade of the building. This would serve this facade.
Brad, do you have a mock-up of the actual, how it's going to look with the tenants on there?
I don't.
You don't,
We're
okay.
going to use the existing
Logos or
logos.
text or
logos.
logos?
Not that you want to think about this, but how would you swap out a logo if you needed to? I mean, are all the logos on one piece of metal or plastic or whatever this sign is? And you'd have to replace the whole thing, or?
They'd be behind a glass on that sign.
Oh.
And we have a choice. We can print it as one piece, or you can apply separate vinyls. In this situation, depends if we can get the quality of printing. It's essentially reads the same through a glass, and it's like you say, you can change it if you need to.
So do you want to get the 5 retail tenants on there, or all 7 tenants? The 5 retail?
tenants.
Who's the fifth retail? The one in the interior of the building?
Yes.
Who is that?
It's called Renewal Design Showroom. They're an interior designer that also deals in fit-out materials for residential interiors as well as light commercial interiors.
Okay.
And they have a showroom in the back.
So it's kind of a unique sign. I mean, I guess it's considered a pole sign as such, but I guess it's not our typical pole sign that comes in before us, or ground sign.
It's much smaller, and this
Yeah.
base is bolted into the concrete?
The base is bolted. It'd be constructed of wrought iron by a company in Colorado that does custom iron signs. It'd be finished in a black satin finish. It would, the sign would be behind, it'd have clear, I don't think it should be glass, actually. It
No.
should be a polycarbonate or something that's clear but doesn't break. And it'd be two-sided in terms of the signs.
Yeah.
You would see them from both sides. This is representative. It's not exact in terms of the height of the pole versus the size of the sign. The sign would be located up on a private patio off the sidewalk, which is actually 2 steps up. And our design is to reduce the height of the sign by reducing that metal,
The twisted
iron
pole.
twisted.
I mean, is this not a monument sign? It is a monument.
I don't know what you call it, to be honest with you. I mean,
It would
it's
be-
labeled as a pole sign, but, you
Well,
know.
but it would be, I guess, with everything else where they have, where buildings have monuments outside, this would be a monument sign.
I mean, technically, if the pole sign's over 8 feet high, so really, it's more of a ground sign than a pole sign,
Yeah.
technically.
And then if it's a directional sign, then that gives you more latitude, right? Because direction, if it's,
Well, it gives you less, actually, square footage and stuff.
Less-
But this would still meet the requirement,
Yeah.
you know? But you had some ideas, I think, Cindy.
I did have one thought. I thought of having it extend up higher, but have it come off this wrought iron railing that you have at the end of the building. I wondered if it would kind of move it out of the way, so it's not distracting from the facade of the building, which is, these photographs are lovely of the building, really. I wondered if you had it off the last vertical railing of the, that wrought iron section, which is at, I'd say, the south end of the building, the southeast end of the building, right where you have the wheelchair.
And it's a little dark.
Yeah, use the one, yeah, that one. Okay,
It's where
so.
the handicap's
You know the
on.
handicap sticker or sign there? If
Sure.
it came straight up there, it wouldn't be lined up with the projecting sign at Little Nest. It would be actually probably, a foot and a half to the left of that. Would that be a pole sign? If it's a pole sign, does it have to be 8 feet high? What is the,
No, I mean, it's all based upon height and square footage. So if you're over 8 feet, you're only allowed 25 square feet.
Yeah.
And you're
Can
certainly
you
not
be
going to
lower
put
than
anything
that?
that big.
Can you-
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
I mean, that would be considered a ground sign, and you're allowed 30 square feet. But again, you're not
I don't
going
want
to
it to be
put 30 square feet.
Yeah, but how low could we have it? Could we just have it be, just extend up a little, like I'm a building owner, I'm just speaking euphemistically, but.
Or it wouldn't have to be low.
Would you prefer it to be low?
It depends on the location.
Yeah.
So where it's positioned in this draft is in order that passersby on the sidewalk, whether they parked north of the building or coming this way to find it, or south, it's right there.
Yeah.
And you can see the directory from eye level as you walk by. You can, it's the only building that sits back that's a multi-user building, so we all default to what we know, and when you walk down a whole block of facades that are right there, you can reach out and touch them. When one sits back, it's an unexpected barrier to people being able to find what they're looking for.
Well, you're saying it's not in
People
line with.
show up, they park, they walk around,
They
they
can't
look for
find it.
places in this building, and they leave. And then they come back and they give the feedback that, hey, I was here, I couldn't find you.
Yeah. I think the Wayne Bar and
You really have
polished
to
are
make it as
difficult.
straightforward as
Yeah.
possible and with still being tasteful and subtle.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, you're not trying to push it out all the way to the lower step or anything like that. It is set back a little bit, and it's out of the way. Is it kind of, are you intending for it to be centered?
On the
kind of
stairway?
Centered on the stairway down, which is kind of in the middle, right?
Yes, the thought on that is that the flow up to the building kind of naturally comes in from the north or the south. It doesn't, you don't actually approach dead center and then turn perpendicular to the left and walk straight up. So that a sign in the middle is naturally flowed around
Yep.
anyway.
And
So
you have the
it-
full sidewalk in front of your building. That is a separate patio area. So you have the full
Yeah,
sidewalk. You're not
it's a
encroaching
double
on.
depth, actually. It
Yeah.
has regular sidewalk width, and it has a tree.
Yeah.
and-
I missed the outdoor dining submission, if it came through here. Is this whole patio going to be filled up with tables and chairs? Or is it just a couple?
No, in the upper
No.
right, go ahead, explain where your seating is.
It's,
going for.
It's on the left against the railing. See the
Oh.
railing? So you're facing the building, it's on the left
Oh,
against
left,
the
excuse
railing.
me.
So the Wayne Bar's got their half.
And really, it's,
Potentially, in
And
fact, yeah,
it's
may-
6 seats.
it's not,
Okay.
is it even 6? It's two little cafe tables and
Yeah.
2 chairs or something, maybe, I guess maybe,
That's what they have right now.
yeah, 4 chairs?
I don't recall what it's approved for, but it's, at the most, it's 6. I remember it's not more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think is Cindy's idea? I mean, she's just throwing something out there and,
If I can jump in here.
yeah. it's a
On
tough
that railing
application.
will not work.
I'm sorry?
On the rail
On the
won't work?
railing will not work.
Okay.
So sightline distance, remember, all trucks go down that alley to service all those.
Right. Yep.
So people that come out there are stuck within that area. That railing
that's a good point.
just won't
Okay, good, Ray, thanks.
That's good.
won't make it.
Okay, in that case, I don't
appreciate
mind the
that.
location here.
Yeah, I mean, your hands are kind of tied unless you went furthest north, and then you're probably not going to get it, you're only going to have one side visibility, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Could
can we
go closer to
approve
the
the way
pub.
it is?
Yeah, and you know what? I think part of what makes this not look great is that it's this white box there. Once you have the lettering, the signage on there, it'll blend a little better.
I
You
think so.
everything that comes out of your office is usually very well designed.
I'm just going to have one comment as far as the pole itself. I don't know, I see that as a little bit of a trip hazard, I don't know.
I mean, the
The
sign
base of
could
it?
go down
Yeah.
to the ground.
I don't know, if something maybe was a little more, more substance there or
So I'd rather
something.
see it go down to the ground personally.
I like
the
that
sign-
twisted pole. I think
Do you
that's
like that?
something
Yeah.
I think it goes with the building.
Okay. You don't find it'll be a trip hazard for
Well,
somebody?
how
or-
can you, how are you going to trip on that?
Well, you know the way people are. They're on their cell phones.
Kids
and
are
out
running
looking, or, you
around
know.
that thing like crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thinking you have to get pretty close to it to trip on that. It's within the boundaries of the sign, is that plate that's going to be anchored to this concrete.
It's a welded plate. I believe it's going to be
Okay.
really flat.
Okay.
I think it
No, I'm
doesn't,
just saying
I think it
the
doesn't
pole-
walk into the
you know,
sign.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably less than a
You know.
quarter inch.
which could happen to me while I'm walking on my cell phone.
Well, that's- I mean, that's
fine.
it,
So
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
texting, you know?
yeah.
But people, it's time to pick your head up, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think I understand the need for it. I think the building is unique. My only disappointment is that you don't have the actual signage to show us, and I don't know that, knowing us, we can approve
Yeah, that's- I
signage
wondered
without
about
seeing the
that.
sign.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy. I'd assume since those logos, colors, everything had already been approved a couple different times
Well,
on this
sometimes,
building, that it would be
yeah.
the same.
like, if I think of some of the monument signs or that we've done where there've been multiple businesses, and I'm trying to think of some offhand, like, we've allowed them to have one spot of color for if it's, I'm trying to think, you know, if you see a series of plates on a
Yeah.
monument sign, and all the signs are pretty much the same, except if you have a little red chili
Yeah.
pepper here, or a little red C here, or a PNC here. something.
Brandywine at the old Chilton location, we let them have that.
Yeah, do
Like,
we?
a little splash of color for a logo or
Right,
whatever.
for an individual logo, but for the most part, we tried to keep the signage the same.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, these are also different, these logos.
I agree with you.
Um,
I think it's appropriate to have same backgrounds
Yeah.
for each one, same
Yeah.
color, whether it's white or like a steel gray. You need
Well-
to
Yeah.
keep some contrast.
Yeah.
and
Yes,
So
Well, let me ask-
I'm rolling through the logos, and, you know, there's one logo that stands out that's different than the others, which is the salon logo. And the
Well,
landlord can make a decision
Let me just
on
ask Ray
colors.
the question. Ray, I mean,
It wouldn't have, we could
yeah,
have.
is this something we can
design done
approve
for
without
that.
actually seeing what the sign's going to look like? The text and everything, or should we ask Brad to come back, or?
On a personal note, I think you should see what you're approving. So
Yeah.
you may want Brad to come back. The other thing I might ask for is, or you might ask for is, if Brad wants to come back with this sign, he should really take a step back and paste in all the signs so
Yeah.
that you get a feel of exactly what's going to be there. Because right now, you don't see the sign on the side of the building.
Yeah.
You don't see the 4 projecting signs, and you don't see all the signs where the parking spaces are. All you're looking at is a proposed little white sign on a vanilla building. So it may give you a better idea of how things are going to look, may give you the style of the logos to make sure they match that 10-foot wall sign, which is just at the side of that building by that light.
yeah. I appreciate what you're saying.
yeah.
And I think, you know, as I always say that what comes out of your office is very nicely designed, but I would ask anybody, we would make that request of any other business owner presenting something. We wouldn't say to them, you know what, you do a nice job, you go ahead.
Could we submit that without coming to another hearing?
No, I think we'd want to sit. You're just saying submit it through the township? No, I think we would want you here, so you can answer questions and
Yeah.
stuff like that, certainly.
And
Yeah.
also because it's public, and
Yeah.
the public always has some interest or some complaint if it's not done, you know, the way, if everybody isn't treated the same.
Right.
So,
So if you can get all that together by February
I'll see
11th?
you next month.
Yeah, but you have to get it into the office by February 11th.
Okay.
It'd be on the, right? No, I'm sorry, the meeting's scheduled for February 11th
it has to be in,
by January 21. So you're going to have to work on it ASAP.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, January
problem.
21 for February 11th meeting.
Okay.
All right, fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
all right.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Brad.
So we didn't change the height, we didn't change the location.
Well,
Well, we're not sure, but we need to see it, but,
yeah, Brad, you talked about possibly changing the height to that?
That's true, and.
Okay. All right, so you come back with a more
I'll
finished
come back
product
with
for
a-
us?
I'll come back with a.
Okay,
but if he changes the height, is it going to be a pole sign, in which case there are other limitations? If he stays the height it is now, is it a monument sign?
no, it's going to, under the interpretation of the code book, it's going to be a ground sign,
Okay,
Yeah.
unless he goes tall.
unless it goes real tall.
Yeah, and then it's.
Yeah, if you go over 8 feet, and you're not going to go over 8 feet, then you're into the pole sign territory.
Yeah.
Under 8 feet is ground sign.
Good, okay.
Okay,
All right,
that won't be any problem.
All right.
Okay.
We'll be under 8.
okay, thank you.
Thank
So
you.
was this a continuance?
Is that
Would we
officially?
call this a continued to the next meeting? Okay,
Okay,
so in the matter of 2015-05, I move that we continue this application until the next meeting.
okay. Fair second?
Second.
Okay, great. All right, thank you, Brad.
Thanks.
I'm away for the next meeting.
Okay, all right, so
It's on the
you'll
11th.
let Peggy know that.
I-
Okay. Is there any other business for our board tonight? Okay, make a motion.
I
for
move that we adjourn.
I will too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
I already know I will be out of town for the next meeting, but I would love to